right, so we are reading part 2 of chapter 11. By 11 o'clock, the whole school seemed to be out in the stands around the Quidditch pitch. Many students had binoculars. The seats might be raised high in the air, but it was still difficult to see what was going on sometimes. Ron and Hermione joined Neville. Seamus and Dean of the West Ham fan up in the top row. As a surprise for Harry, they had painted a large banner on one of the sheets Scabbers had ruined. It said Potter for President, and Dean, who was good at drawing, had drawn a large Gryffindor line underneath. Hermione had performed a little charm so that the paint flashed different colors. Meanwhile, in the changing rooms, Harry and the rest of the team were changing into their scarlet Quidditch robes. Slytherin would be wearing green. Wood cleared his throat for silence. "Okay, men," he said. "And women," said Chaser Angela Johnson. "And women," Wood agreed. "This is it. The big one," said Fred. "The one we've all been waiting for," said George. "We know Oliver's speech by heart," Fred told Harry. "We were on the team last year." "Shut up, you two," said Wood. "This is the best Gryffindor team we've had in years. We're going to win. I know it." He glared at them as if to say, "Or else." "Right, it's time. Good luck to you all." Harry followed Fred and George out of the changing room, hoping his knees weren't going to give. Walked onto the pitch to loud cheers. Madam Hooch was refereeing. She stood in the middle of the pitch, waiting for the two teams with her broom in hand. "Now I want a nice fair game, all of you," she said, once they were gathered around her. Harry noticed that she seemed to be speaking particularly to Slytherin captain Marcus Flint, a fifth year. Harry thought Flint looked as if he had some troll blood in him. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a fluttering banner high above, flashing Potter for President over the crowd. His heart skipped. He felt braver. "Mount your brooms, please." Harry clambered onto his Nimbus 2000. Madam Hooch gave a loud blast on her silver whistle. 15 brooms rose up high into the air, and then they were off. "The quaffle is taken immediately by Angelina Johnson for Gryffindor. What an excellent chaser that girl is, and rather attractive, too. Jordan." "Sorry, Professor." The Weasley twins' friend Lee Jordan was doing the commentary for the match, closely watched by Professor McGonagall. "And she's really belting along up there. A night pass to Alicia Spinnet, a good find of Oliver's. Last year's, only a reserve. And back to Johnson. And no, Slytherin has taken the quaffle. Slytherin captain Marcus Flint gains the quaffle, and off he goes. Flint flying like an eagle up there. He's going to oh no! An excellent stop by Gryffindor keeper Wood. And Gryffindor takes the quaffle. The chasers, Katie Bell for Gryffindor out there. Nice dive around Flint. Off the field, and ouch! That must have hurt. Hit by the back of the head by a bludger. Quaffle, taken by Slytherin. And that's Adrian Pusey's speed off towards the goalpost. But he's blocked by a second bludger. Sent his way by Fred or George. We can't tell who is who. Nice play by Gryffindor beater, anyway. And Johnson, back in the possession of the quaffle. A clear field ahead, and off she goes. She's really flying. Dodges past a speeding bludger. And the goalposts are ahead. Come on now, Angelina. Keeper Bletchley dives and misses. Gryffindor scores. Gryffindor cheers filled the cold air with howls and moans from Slytherins. "Budge up there, move along." "Hagrid." Ron and Hermione squeezed together to give Hagrid enough space to join them. "Been watching from me hut," said Hagrid, patting a large pair of binoculars around his neck. "But it isn't the same as being in the crowd. No sign of the snitch yet." "Nope," said Ron. "Harry hasn't had much to do." "Kept out of trouble, though. That's something." And there's a picture of Hagrid and Gryffindor's watching the game. Way up above them, Harry was gliding over the game, squinting about for some sign of the snitch. This was part of his and Wood's game plan. "Keep out of the way until you catch sight of the snitch," said Wood. "We don't want you to be attacked before you have to be." When Angelina scored, Harry had done a couple of loop-de-loops to let out his feelings. Now he was back to staring around for the snitch. Once he caught sight of a flash of gold, but it was just the reflection from one of the Weasleys' wristwatches. And once a bludger had decided to come pelting his way, more like a cannonball than anything else. But Harry dodged it, and Fred came chasing after it. "All right there, Harry," he said, as he beat the bludger furiously towards Marcus Flint. "Slytherin is in possession," Lee was saying. Chaser Pusey ducks 2 bludgers, 2 Weasleys, and a chaser belt, and speeds toward... Wait a minute, was that the snitch? A murmur ran through the crowd as Adrian Pusey dropped the quaffle, too busy looking over his shoulder at the flash of gold that happened to pass by his left ear. Harry saw it. In a great rush of excitement, he dived toward after the golden streak of gold. Slytherin seeker Terrence Higgs had seen it, too. Neck and neck, they hurtled toward the snitch. All the chasers seemed to have forgotten what they were supposed to be doing as they hung in midair to watch. Harry was faster than Higgs. He could see the little ball, wings fluttering, darting up ahead. He had put on an extra spurt of speed, and then wham! A roar of rage echoed from the Gryffindors below. Marcus Flint had blocked Harry on purpose, and Harry's broom spun off course, Harry holding on to dear life. "Foul!" screamed the Gryffindors. Madam Hooch spoke angrily to Flint and ordered a free shot at the goalpost for Gryffindor. But in all the confusion, of course, the golden snitch had disappeared from sight again. Down in the stands, Dean Thomas was yelling, "Send him off, ref! Red card!" "This isn't football, Dean," Ron reminded him. "You can't send people off in Quidditch. And what's a red card?" But Hagrid was on Dean's side. "They ought to change the rules. Flint could have knocked Harry out of the air." Lee Jordan was finding it difficult not to take sides. "So after that obvious and disgusting bit of cheating," "Jordan," growled Professor McGonagall. After that open and revolting foul." "Jordan, I'm warning you." All right. Flint nearly kills the Gryffindor Seeker, which could happen to anybody, I'm sure, so a penalty to Gryffindor, taken by Spinette, who puts it away. No trouble. And we will continue to play. Gryffindor is still in possession. It was as Harry dodged another bludger, which went spinning dangerously past his head, that it happened. His broom gave a sudden and frightening lurch. For a split second, he thought he was going to fall. He gripped the broom so tightly with both hands and knees. He never felt anything like it. All right, we will stop there and then continue for part 3.